So, welcome to show 13. This is take two. Sorry to Jason, who's our fundraising manager. We had a show recorded. Typical, it's number 13, which usually is lucky for some, but certainly wasn't lucky this time. Went to upload it, and the audio file was just corrupted and non-existent. So, rather than upload a 15-minute conversation with no audio, I've just decided I'm going to quickly record something with an update, and then we'll get either Jason or someone else onto the show for next week, and then we can chat about that different role. So if you listen to this and wondering, well, where's the series that we've had going of chatting to a member of the committee and what's going on, we'll be back next week. Um, so just looking at what we've done in the last week and where are our next steps in terms of investment. We've bought 20 training balls. So we've got the 10 match day balls still sat on my dining room table. One day they'll move off, but they're here for the time being. And we've added 20 balls to training. So you have slightly different balls, all these weird things that I never really knew. When just a fan taking stuff to games, like kit to away games, bits like that. But it's different. So slightly nicer balls for match days, whereas the training ones, it just needs to be useful, doesn't need to be quite as high quality. So we've got those. Everything's progressing towards. We've got a committee meeting as you're listening to this on Monday, this evening. All sorts of stuff on the agenda. So a look at moving that journey along in terms of live streaming. So really keen to make sure we have something in place, because I know that we're in 10 different countries now. There's owners all over the UK, but owners overseas. And why, hey, I'm a fan of American football. The chances of me getting out to Cleveland to watch every single game, very, very low. And in the same way that there's people, owners across the UK, owners overseas, I'm sure they would love to come to a live game, but as well, it's not going to be possible all the time. So we're trying everything we can, and we feel confident that we'll get there for live streaming home games. We've just got to put the pieces together, the cost implications, everything like that. But it's one that we're well aware we want to get to that. And then it's looking at what we could potentially do for away games. Is the options going to be there to live stream? But obviously, then just depends on the phone signal and all of that. Or is it one where we just grab a highlights package and then we can just upload highlights for away games? So yeah, we will finalize that over the next couple of months, really. There's no kind of pressure and rush to sign into something. We can look for the best deal and the best quality, so that you can enjoy a really good experience and it's not some sort of grainy, horrible footage. We want to give really, really good quality, because that investment, would rather buy something good straight away than we get something that's rough for year one and then it's how do we spend a little bit more and improve it. We may as well just get something in place right away. So work on that. Application going into the league. So that's hopefully something that we'll share some great news with tomorrow night. Well, I say tomorrow night, tonight, if you listen to this on the Monday. So that's underway. We'll finalise. In terms of owners' votes this month, getting our goalkeeper top sorted. So we've got our home and away kits. Next step is just to get goalkeeper tops done. So owners are allowed to design goalkeeper top. They can then send the designs in. We'll probably include any of the away kits that weren't picked last time or don't have clashing colours. So no black or dark colours, and that's the rules, because it would clash with the referees' kits. The referees' kits only done in black. There's not sort of an alternate kit, which means we can't have black home or away kits. We won't have amber and we won't have blue. Reason for that is we don't want to clash with the home and away, because say we're bright pink is the home goalie kit, the other team could be wearing pink, and then it's like we've got to play in different color. So having two different goalie kits that don't clash with our home and away kits, really important, just to give us that flexibility, because you never know what another team's going to decide to wear. So that's in place. There's some stuff around fundraising and charity work and the support we can do to charities, but I'll save that for Jason, who's really led on that. He can speak on that next time he's on. And it's really enjoyable for what we're doing and building the club, because we're deciding things that we can then put in place to happen year on year, and you, the owners, will get to decide things. And that's the joy of what we're building from. It's a blank slate. There's no one telling us, hey, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. We can really build and shape it. So if you've got ideas as owners thinking, oh, it'd be really good if they did this, or this, let us know. And we'll certainly discuss it. We're not saying everything will happen, and it's very much walk before we run. So we're never going to overcommit to doing, oh yeah, there's 10 great ideas, we're going to do them now. Some of them might be say, hey, this is a really nice idea, we'll start that year two, and we'll build stuff into the plan. But then it's also making sure we can scale, because some stuff has come as really good ideas and it's like, hey, would it be nice if we could do this? That's fine, but then we've also got a plan of, will that work with 1,000 owners? And that's where we're setting our aspirations. We want to have 1,000+ owners, because then that builds a really solid revenue stream for when we're paying the entire playing squad, stuff like that. So there's that balance to everything that we're really, really mindful of. Can we do it now, and can we also do it long term? Because there's no point setting something in place and then once we hit 250, 500 owners, we have to stop doing something. We want to keep that experience there forever. So it's stuff you can control. And even around live streaming, we've got to look into the implications and what happens with that. Is it one that we can put it behind a sort of password for owners down the line? Because there could be rules around live streaming 3 o'clock games. It's all the legals and the small minutia that you've got to look into and agree. Obviously, early on, it's quite often 1:30, 2 o'clock kickoffs, and that's just because of light, and making sure that it's not too dark. So all those weird things that you just never even clocked. It was like, oh, if it's a December game, you'd start at 3 o'clock, but half time they'd probably turn the floodlights on. Well, there's no floodlights to turn on, so you've got to start the game early to protect against things like that. So lots of great stuff the team's looking at, and we're constantly adding more people. So I've added another person to our finance subcommittee, also looking at grant funding. So more and more people that think, hey, actually, I could be useful for something here. Fundraising team certainly looking to add more people, particularly on game day. So it doesn't have to be one where you're committing to anything massively, and it's also not committing to every game. If you can just shake a bucket every so often, that's just a whole pool of people we can rely on. So just have a think. If you can help out, please, please, please let us know. Makes the world difference to us as a club, just having more people and support there. But overall, it's coming together nicely. I'm just desperate. I want to get to the stage where we're playing football now. It's gone a long way. We're on the last few steps. At the end of March, John Edwards, vice chairman, who you met a couple of weeks ago, he'll be going and getting everything sorted with the kits. We'll make sure the kits are available to buy. We don't have the details on that just yet, but we will make sure that they will be there for purchase. Even if it's one where we have to get a few orders in, then we'll ship them all together. We'll work out the details around it all, but we want to make sure that people can buy the kits, because why not? They're beautifully sort of crafted by you, the ownership, and decided by you, the ownership, but that gives you that control of what you've got. So yeah, overall, everything's going really, really well. Exciting times, been quite a few media interviews recently, which is great. It's one that is getting our message out there, and more people are hearing about it. So please, please, please tell friends and family, get people to become an owner. We're moving towards 175 as the next sort of milestone, because we sort of celebrate every 25 publicly. And so, yeah, that's the next milestone to hit. And then, yeah, the goals, that first game, let's get to 250. So, yeah, feel confident we'll get there, but let's push over that line and bring it home. Sponsorship, continuing to add more sponsors. So by all means, if you know anyone that wants to sponsor, please, please, please get them involved, because any of the shirt sponsors, that's probably going to be something we'll wrap up right at the start of April, because the kits will start having to get printed and everything probably end of April. So we'll need any sponsorship stuff in before that. So if you know anyone that's able to help out, and there's packages for shirt sponsors, 2.5 grand's the top one, but there's some that come down to sort of £500 on the training kits. stuff like that. So it's one that there's different packages there, but sponsorship for player sponsors is down at £50 per player. Obviously, we don't have any yet to sponsor, but as they get announced, there'll be that availability. So it's one for businesses and individuals of all size. Sponsor based on what you would like. But no, thank you very much for listening. Up the rocks. And what we'll do, we'll be back next week with a member of the committee, which is just more interesting than listening to me chat. But no, absolutely still overwhelmed by the level of support and how great everyone is at supporting what we're trying to do. We can just keep building from strength to strength. And yeah, I think 1,000+ owners is realistic for year 2. So let's just build through this year. But no, that moment when I can watch East Thurrock kick off is going to be an emotional and really phenomenal day, from this is ideas on a piece of paper to seeing it come to life. So become a part of that. And that's a story that generations down the line, you can say, yeah, I was there helping found that club. And that's simple, £5 a month. Just pay that and it's all done. And you can do that from wherever you are in the world. We're in 10 countries. Let's chase 100. Up the rocks. Have a great week. All the best. Bye.